Okay. Vito. I'm gonna show y'all boys where I'm from, man. I'm from
At credibility. David hasn't done shit. He needs Benavidez. It's shout out to Benavidez for taking this step backwards. Y'all making him do this. Y'all acting like this dude. This the same thing fucking Floyd did with Earl. He is Earl at 14-0. He could be good, but he ain't ready. He ain't ready for Keith Thurman, but y'all made this fight happen, and y'all gonna see. But saying this, shout out to both of these guys. No, shout out to David. David is ahead of this dude. David is the one that we want to see with Arthur Benavidez. David is the one that we want to see with Canelo. David was the one that we wanted to see with Caleb. Who the fuck calls in here to say they want to see David Morrell with anybody other than David Benavidez? So don't say shout out to Morrell. He was begging for an opportunity, and we gave him one. This is shot.
What's it up, baby? You already know it is the big boss. How bounced out Cape out through the don't. Here to talk about for good in my solidical. Remember, tough times don't last. Good people do. Don't off yourself. Caught him in a hotline. Maybe you're mad at peak game. 80 folks on what? Swing. Now, shout out to the Boxer Voice, man. They got some good topics. I don't agree with everything they say, but, you know, that's part of life. That's men being men. You know, men ain't gonna always see stuff the same way. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, if you're a man, you understand that. But as I've learned, a lot of men in this world, on this YouTube channel, on this YouTube platform, ain't men. Just read my comments and you'll see. But anyway, they were talking about David Benavidez and David Morrell. And they said that shout out to David Benavidez, but he's taking a step backwards. He said David Benavidez is taking a step backwards by fighting David Morrell. He said nobody wanted to see this fight. He said nobody was calling out, asking for David Benavidez versus David Morrell. He said this is a step back fight. You know, the fans demanded, you know, well, he didn't say the fans. It's kind of contradictory if you ask me, because he sat there and said, y'all wanted this fight, but then he said nobody wanted to see this fight. That's what he said in the video. But I'm responding to that. I disagree with this yet again. I think this is a good fight for David Benavidez. Is it a fight that we all wanted? No, but it's a fight that is good for boxing, right? He's right. We wanted to see David Benavidez versus Canelo. You know what I mean? I disagree with him saying that we want to see David Benavidez versus Arthur Benavidez. That's not really a big fight to me. A big fight to me was David Benavidez versus Canelo. I feel like David Benavidez versus Canelo is the fight to make in the sport of boxing. You know what I'm saying? Because we get to see if Canelo can do it yet again, and we get to see if David Benavidez is really the guy that we all think he is. You know what I'm saying? So we shall see, you know, but I think it's good for Benavidez because he's building around Canelo, right? He's showing that I don't need Canelo, right? Canelo don't want to give him an opportunity. So he fighting people that Canelo wouldn't even fight as of today. So yeah, he's out here fighting David Morrell. He fought Demetrius Andrade, a fighter that wanted to fight Canelo, but Canelo's like, you see what I'm saying? So he's building his legacy without Canelo, right? And he's doing it the right way. You know what I'm saying? Like David Benavidez, this is very smart of him because, you know, he watched Jamal Charlo and Demetrius Andrade, these guys sit here and stall out their careers trying to get a Canelo opportunity. You know, they tried to do it the right way, go through the sanctioning bodies, become the number one contender, and Canelo's still like, I don't care if they're number one contender, I'm not fighting them. You know what I'm saying? So what else are they supposed to do? You know, so I don't think that David Benavidez is taking a step backwards. I think he's moving forward. He's showing that, hey, I'm willing to fight this young dude. Yeah, he's 14-0, but I'm willing to show this young dude, you know, who's been calling me out, you know, I'm willing to give him opportunity, something that Canelo won't never do. I fool with it. I like it. You know what I'm saying? I think it's good for boxing. You know what I mean? I'm not going to lie to you. David Morrell is ready. He's shown that. You know, and those you with them Cubans, you know, I feel like he ready. Now, I already know what y'all going to say. Oh, well, how's he ready? But Keyshawn Davis ain't ready. there's some flaws that I see within Keyshawn Davis that he need to work on. David Morrell is ready. He come from that Cuban school of boxing. Y'all know those Cubans, their IQ is higher. They come out pro ready. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. They different. Those Cubans, they just different type of fighters. You know what I'm saying? You got to be a special type fighter to beat one of them. Just real talk. You can't be your average Joe Blow getting in there. You can't make mistakes with a Cuban. You can't. You got to be dang near perfect on that night. You can't make too many mistakes with them. You know what I'm saying? So, I feel like it's a good scrap. I'm not gonna hold you. Now, the reference to Errol Spence and Keith Thurman, you know, he was like, you know, Errol Spence wasn't ready for Keith Thurman when Errol was 14-0. I don't know. I mean, I'm gonna have to disagree with that one too. I feel like Errol was ready, and Keith saw that. Keith Thurman didn't fight Errol Spence at that time because he still ain't fought that man to this day. It's because he knew that's a dangerous style matchup for his particular style. That's just what it is. He know Errol Spence got that high guard. Keith Thurman is a guy that's an explosive puncher, right? So he at that time he was relying on that right hand. You know what I mean? He'll let that right hand go. Ush! You know what I mean? And Errol at that time was a type of fighter that had good balance, that worked behind the jab, had great fundamentals. You know what I'm saying? Like boxing one-on-one type of fundamentals. That's the type of fighter he is. He gonna have a high guard. You ain't gonna be able to pull that high guard down. And he gonna work behind the jab, and he just got stronger as the fight went on. You see what I'm saying? So I think Errol was ready for Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman's like, nah, I don't want to fight him, man. Even when Errol became a champion, I don't want to fight him. And, now he calling out Errol, because Errol Spence has established himself and Errol Spence got paid, and Keith Thurman is kind of on the decline, or it has declined. But I think that Errol was ready for Keith Thurman. That's what I believe at that time. You just got to look at the guys and their fundamentals and who they was fighting and stuff like I feel like Errol was ready. You know what I mean? But I think this is a big fight. David Morrell versus David Morrell. I do. I don't feel like that, David Morrell is a bad fighter. I don't feel like, I feel like David Morrell is a solid fighter. And I feel like this is truly a 50-50 fight. It's whoever get to who first. You know what I'm saying? That's just what I believe. Can David Morrell put it together to keep David Benavidez off of him? Can David Benavidez crack that Cuban school of boxing code? You know what I'm saying? It's, they both at a different weight class. It's, it's just different, man. And I think that this is going to be a good fight. I'm not going to lie to you. This fight is going to do numbers. It's, is it the biggest fight in boxing? No, but it's one of those fights where, a star could be born, or a star can turn into a bigger star. So y'all let me know what y'all think about this video. Do y'all agree with Nance Boscom?